All right, let's talk about AI. You see it everywhere, right? In the headlines, in the apps on your phone. It's kind of inescapable. But the real question is, how do we get past all the noise and actually use it to move forward in our careers? Well, that's exactly what we're going to tackle today. We're going to build a clear, practical foundation so you can start using AI with confidence, like right now.
So let's just cut right to the chase. That whole debate about if AI is going to change how we work, yeah, that's over. It's here. It's already happening. So the only question that really matters for us, professionally speaking, is the one you see right here. Is your career ready for this?
And to even begin to answer that, we have to wrap our heads around just how big this is. I mean, this isn't some far off sci fi movie concept anymore. Not at all. We are right in the middle of a massive professional shift, and honestly, it's picking up speed every single day.
And don't think for a second this is just a thing for tech hubs like Silicon Valley. Nope. It's like a ripple spreading across the entire globe. Sure, it's transforming how giant corporations manage their supply chains, but it's also giving a small business in, say, Nigeria or London, the power to analyze their customer data in ways that were, well, pretty much impossible before. This shift is opening up new ways of working for everybody, everywhere.
But okay, if we're going to grab these opportunities, we have to be able to speak the language, right? There's just so much hype out there, so many confusing buzzwords flying around. So our next step is to cut through all that. Let's decode the AI buzz and figure out what we're really talking about.
You know, when you strip it all the way, it's actually way simpler than it sounds. Seriously, forget the robots and the sci-fi for a minute. At its very core, artificial intelligence is just a field of computer science, and it's focused on one thing: building systems that can do tasks that usually need a human brain. You know, things like drafting a tricky email, summarizing a super long report, or even just spotting a pattern in some sales numbers. And getting this next part right is, well, it's absolutely crucial. So on one side, you have what AI is. Think of it as an awesome support tool. It's fantastic for automating the boring, repetitive stuff. It's a brilliant assistant for digging through data, or even just kicking off a brainstorming session. But, and this is a big but, what it's not is just as important. It is not a replacement for your experience, for your gut feeling, for your professional judgment. It's not some magic wand you can wave at every problem. And this is a big one. It isn't conscious. It doesn't think or feel. It's an incredibly sophisticated tool, not your new colleague.
And look, like any powerful tool, knowing how to use it the right way is completely non-negotiable. That brings us to a really critical topic: ethics and responsible use.
I really want this idea to stick with you. Using AI powerfully means using it responsibly. See, these two things aren't separate ideas. They're totally connected, two sides of the exact same coin. You simply can't unlock the true potential of these tools without also committing to using them ethically. They go hand in hand.
So what does that actually look like day to day? Well, think of these as your basic rules of the road. First, you've got to know its limits, so you're not trying to use it for the wrong thing. Second, you always have to check its outputs for accuracy and for fairness. Because remember, AI learns from human data, and our data isn't always perfect. Third, you need to stay in the driver's seat. Human oversight is key. You're always the one in control. And finally, just be open about it. Be transparent with your team and your clients about how you're using it. That's how you build trust.
Okay, so we've covered the what and the how. Now for the best part, turning all of this into your own personal game plan. Let's talk about building your personal AI strategy.
This right here, this is the most important mindset shift you can make. The conversation shouldn't be about replacing people. The real strategic goal is to pinpoint the tasks where AI can support you, where it can act as your co-pilot, amplifying your skills and freeing you up to do the work that really matters.
And where do you find these opportunities? I bet they're already staring you right in the face. Just think about your work week, that mind-numbing data entry you have to do, getting the highlights from a long report. What about just getting started on research or brainstorming ideas for a new project, or even just creating a quick first draft of something? These are all perfect, low-risk, high-reward starting points for getting AI support.
So, your brain is probably already buzzing with a few ideas, right? That's great. Now, let's turn that awareness into real, concrete action. We're going to structure this with two clear, simple outputs that will basically become your personal roadmap. Here's your starting line. Step one is a simple self-assessment. Just take an honest look at your current skills and your mindset. Where are you right now? Then, from that starting point, you build step two, your personal AI use case map.
This is where you actually chart out those specific, high-impact tasks in your own job where AI can lend a hand. These two things together, that's your foundation.
And that brings us to our final and maybe most important question, the one I want you to take away from all this. As you start to picture that personal map, thinking about your own daily work, what's the very first opportunity that comes to mind? That's it. That's your starting point.